I can't jack it up.
Why?
I can't find the oil pan.
3 on the tree. She's got the old bolt action transmission in it. That's reverse. You have to go forward into second.
I'm gonna...
All right, so when we come to the turn here, put your turn signal on.
Wait, where?
Down.
How? What?
Down. Guys, the most spectacular thing about this vehicle is that it's got 35,000 original miles on it. When that lady's telling you that her dog's gonna jump on the car, you just need to drive away.
Sorry?
Oh boy.
Hey, what is that?
Well, we got it in Colorado. What do you think that is?
Don't get diabetes.
I don't think mice give you diabetes.
Steven.
Well, a couple of days ago, we had 9 inches of snow out here. We were racing around the yard, pulling the kids in the four-wheeler. Fun in the snow. Whoa! You lost one. Today, it's just wet and foggy. Welcome back to Crossthread Garage and Salvage, a channel where the name says it all. We're not doing anything right, but I'm trying hard to teach my daughter Caitlin that if it's going to get done, someone's going to have to do it, and there's really no reason it shouldn't be her or me. What I'm saying is, if somebody can do it, she can learn to do it, and I'm trying to teach her that in the garage. This week, with the free Ford Fairlane. It's my wife's 62 Fairlane 500 that she claims ownership of, even though she doesn't know how to drive. It's a bolt action transmission. So this week I teach Caitlin how to drive it and how to service it. It changes fluids, filters, and we find some really unwelcome and unexpected guests in the car. So stay tuned. Guys, this week we're gonna get a little service done on the 62 Fairlane, but before we can do that, ooh, look at that cloud blowing across the... That's neat.
That's pretty neat.
Looks like a ghost.
I don't believe in ghosts.
Well, well, if it isn't our old friend Bluestone the Great.
So we're gonna get the garage cleaned up here so we can get some service done on the 62 Fairlane. We never really got this thing out this past year, didn't get much done on it, so Caitlin's gonna back the C10 out and we're gonna get some cleanup done here, put some things away. You guys probably don't know this about me, but I hate working in a dirty garage. I just don't hate it as much as I hate cleaning a dirty garage. So
What are you doing?
well, I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes, but turns out it was the refrigerator. Okay, start it up. That's a cold start. The starter did make a little pinging noise, but wasn't a grinding. But that's a cold start. That thing has been sitting here for 10 days. Hasn't been started. That's pretty good. I'd say we got that thing dialed and tuned. Brake. Did you shut that off or did it kill it?
I did not shut that off.
Why did it die?
Because it's like 40 degrees outside and we just started it. And it's an old thing.
All right, let's get, we're just gonna, you okay? You dead?
Pew pew. Sanka, you dead?
Sanka, you dead? Yeah, man.
And then we're gonna swing the Fairlane out here, get it up on jacks and get the oil changed, check fluids, change filters, all the stuff that we've never done. Owned that car since 2020 and I've never changed the oil. But I've also only put like 200 miles on it, so okay, let's do it. That jack got stuck in the drain. See from the looks of it that plastic drain is toast.
Yeah, drain's gone. Into the unknown.
Well, we definitely broke that pretty good. Not sure if it's the garage or the tire a little lower, or there's suspension sprung on this side or something, but it looks like it's sitting a little like that.
Oh.
Yes, the horn works. As if you didn't know that.
I don't want to do that, but I don't want to go. Oh. Sunglasses.
Can't remember how to.
It's so little. How little it is.
Look at that big power plant, guys. We're looking at a 1962 Ford Fairlane 500 that I got
For free.
for free.
Sure,
I'll tell you that story before we're done today. What we're going to do is go ahead and get this thing ready to service. We haven't really done anything with this except degrease the engine when we first got it. A couple years ago I did change out spark plugs and wires. So it's got new plugs and wires in it because we had one of these, I think it was the number 5 cylinder. The wire was bad. You could actually hear it snapping inside the wire. And every time it hit, you would see these lines shake like that. So those are new. But it's an old generator system. No power brakes, no power steering, 3 on the tree. She's got the old bolt action transmission in it. So we're just going to do a quick service on fluids and filters and get underneath it. We picked it up in Colorado in early 2020, and Colorado vehicle, the presumption is it's rust free because everything out there is rust free. I've never actually looked underneath it though, so we're going to do that today. And we're going to get a new filter. Cool. All right. We got this with a 64 Lincoln Continental baby blue. I'll throw a picture on the screen.
It was like a spy car. Like,
It was pretty cool.
hit the button, and antenna would go up.
It had power everything. It had automatic dimming headlights. It had an 8-way front power seat, power windows, power locks, power steering, AC. Right in the beginning of the pandemic, and I thought to myself, probably shouldn't have all my cash wrapped up in a couple of classic vehicles. So we sold the Lincoln, and I've regretted it every day since. You guys know what classic vehicle prices did during the pandemic. Artificially inflated, but still inflated. And so I think I sold it for $18,000. It went from being an $18,000 car when I sold it, which I think was fair value, to the middle of 21 being a $40,000 car. So, you know, that works out pretty good in my favor. Nope. This thing though has held its value pretty steady. Started off at about a $10,000 car according to Haggerty. Right now it's about a $12,500. So, you know, that checks out with inflation. It's pretty much stayed the same. So we call this the free Fairlane because we bought it in a package, as I said, with a 64 Continental, and then I also got a 65 Continental with no title, and the engine was just hanging in there. The whole thing had been lived in by raccoons. It was just a parts vehicle. So I sold that for $2,500. Other key. There's 2 separate keys. Sold that for $2,500. Sold this, the 64 Lincoln, for $18,000. And we got all of our money back out of the whole deal, and we own this
Have a picnic in
for
here.
nothing. So nice big solid floor. Got the original jack. I'm still missing the original tire,
I don't think you're gonna get
and I don't think I'm gonna get what. This is a car cover.
the original tire.
Well, I'm not gonna get the original one.
Oh, these are license
Those
plates?
are Colorado license plates. I gotta put those back in there. What's this over here? Oh boy.
Dude, what is that?
Well, we got it in Colorado. What do you think that is? I don't know.
What is that?
Oh, it's insulation. It's a.
Got it.
I mean, you guys tell me what you think that looks like. Looks like a brick of the devil's party lettuce.
My word.
Apparently, that is for noise insulation against that outer quarter panel and fender. So, huge trunk for a little car.
Hey, I can close this now.
It has had a paint job. What? Caitlin wants to show you the fuel fill. Everybody remember this? Hidden right there. I have to say, Ford's logo in the 60s is the best looking logo of any automotive era. I don't think you beat that right there. Get out of the picture, Marty.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, I like it. It has had a paint job. It's not the original. It's the original color, but it's not the original paint.
It was painted like
And you
4
can
years
see
after
it
it was made.
in some flaws like this here.
Right?
It was painted about 15 or 16 years ago.
Oh, like I said.
Got a little chip in the corner right there. It was painted well, but it wasn't painted. It wasn't prepped well. Does that make sense? It was painted well. I mean, they took all the seals out. They took all the emblems off. But it just doesn't look like it was prepped really well. It's chipped in a few places. So key goes it back in upside down. Guys, the most spectacular thing about this vehicle is that it's got 35,000 original miles on it.
And all original seats.
Look at the condition of this carpet. Unbelievable.
The radio.
Looks like we've had a mouse in here messing with this insulation. What's that? What's that mileage at? 35.
828.
828. 3 on the tree.
Lights. Hey, look at the lights come on.
Yep. Everything works. Everything works on this car. So we're planning on keeping it, maintaining a low mileage vehicle. But again, part of maintaining it means changing fluids and filters from time to time. Not because it is worn out, but just it needs done.
Stuff right there in the back.
What do you see? Ah, stink. We got a mouse in here for sure. Oh, Marty, why have you not been doing your job?
Do better.
Caitlin, I guess what we need to do is get the vacuum. You go ahead and start with the vacuum and vacuum out that stuff. Maybe we'll pull up that whole back seat actually while we're here. Yeah, see what's underneath it. There could be a build sheet underneath there that if there's mice living in there, we don't want them tearing up. So let's
The build
look for
sheet would
that.
be under the front.
Nope. Hop out and get a vacuum. Guys, these seats were covered in this plastic like vacuum wrap, I think from day one. So these seats have never even had a pair of jeans on them. And we're gonna grab the back seat out of this. It should pick up, I think.
If a mouse runs out of here, I'm not gonna be very happy.
It just pops.
Like so.
There
Oh.
we go.
Oh.
Oh, yep. There's a mouse nest down there.
This car looked so nice 2 minutes ago. 20 seconds ago.
Well, that reminds me of Matthew 23, verses 27 and 28. Woe to you hypocrites! You're like whitewashed tombs that look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside you're full of bones of the dead and everything unclean. In the same way, on the outside you appear as people of righteousness, but on the inside you're full of hypocrisy and wickedness.
Ah.
There we go.
There we go. Oh. Ew. Gross.
All right. We got a little bit of cleanup to do here, huh?
Look at that. Ew, it smells gross.
Yep. Marty, do you see a mouse in there? Do you smell it?
He's coming undercover.
Get him, Marty.
By the way, no build sheet in that spring. Okay. This is definitely sticking because of pee.
Don't get diabetes.
I don't think mice give you diabetes. I'm gonna scrape this all off. You get the vacuum now that you've got that big chunk out of the back. Vacuum everything out of there. Guys, it looks like all that insulation was taken out from in here around the edges. So, you hear all the turds getting sucked up in there? Yeah. Not sure how you missed all those, but
Dad, I vacuumed like half of this already. Here, Marty.
so this insulation is soaked in pee. So we're just gonna pull it out. It's funny because it didn't actually,
Stink?
yeah, like you opened up the car and you couldn't smell it. So
Well, it smelled like the mothball stuff.
that's the other thing we've got. If you guys have ever heard of CAB, C-A-B, it's a mouse rodent repellent. We used it all the time in Colorado, keep mice out of our house and kitchen. And we've got this thing loaded up. There's one in the engine bay, there's one in the floor of the front seat,
Oh.
there's one in the trunk, but they're probably
These are
3 years old,
more than that.
maybe 3.5, yeah, so we probably just need to,
Like
well,
four.
we've only owned the car for
4 years?
4 years
And put 'em in there.
next month.
I put them in there.
So, I don't know. Either way, we gotta do something different. Caitlin's gonna vacuum.
Yeah.
That
Caitlin's
seat.
gonna vacuum.
I'm gonna go get some vinegar spray to neutralize that. And then we will get the front end up in the air and start changing fluids. Ready? Break. Okay, Caitlin's got the jack set right under the oil pan. She's ready to get this thing up in the air for us. Thought I'd just walk you through what we're looking at here. Caitlin, put the cat down and get the jack up. It's obviously got a new battery at some point in its life. Looks to me like it's had a new starter at some point in its life. I know for sure
Get it up.
I had to put a new sensor in the this is a taillight sensor for the brake lights. What?
Get it up.
Yeah, get up in the air so you can get underneath it and drain the oil. So
Oh,
the
wait.
oil pan drains on this side, so we're just going to jack that side up over there. Oil filters right here, easily accessible. Ooh, what is that?
That was what?
What's this down here? An old hide key with a magnet. See if there's a key in there.
Yerp.
Ha! Well, now everybody knows where this keys to steal our car are. That is cool. Those are old Ford. Yes, look at that.
They're the keys to this.
I mean, they're not like replacement keys. They actually say Ford on them.
Oh yeah. Still shiny.
Cool. So it's a 170 inline 6-cylinder, obviously. Nothing fancy, nothing special. I have no idea how many horse. Where'd you put that? No, put it back down in the frame rail where it was, in case it falls. It's not gonna fall out on the road.
Why don't we just keep it with
Down there.
other stuff?
No, because that's cool that it's right there.
I did.
Figure out what size you need to pull that drain pan plug.
Okay. Girl math. Oh. No, I did it. Let me see here. Right tighty. This is right tight. Are you spinning to the left? Or spinning to the... We'll figure it out.
Caitlin, just break it free.
Ow. Okay, so, is it like last time when I did this?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like it'll come shooting out at me?
I mean, you're gonna want to pull the plug and move your hand out of the way, yeah.
Haha, I did it. Ha ha ha.
That didn't work.
Guess not.
Get a strap wrench.
Steven. What is that?
It's a friction strap wrench.
A freaking what?
Not a friction strap wrench. Put it on here. Tighten it up.
It looks like you're gonna... Never mind.
Doesn't matter if you crush the old filter.
Where's the new one?
On the bench over there. The old Napa 1515. Napa Gold. Somebody spent the extra 72 cents.
I was talking about these hoses.
Well, those have Napa on them too, so somebody must have had a favorite Napa store they were servicing their farm stuff at. Which is where we bought this, is from a
Napa store?
From a farm. It was, we're using 10W30 non-synthetic, and we're adding zinc because old motors flat tap it. Cam, you want to put zinc in there so you don't wear it out. So the farm that we bought this from was actually the original farm that this truck or this car had lived on its whole life.
Where?
Second owner, the guy I bought it from, his dad bought the farm 30 years ago, and the cars came with the farm. So this vehicle was bought in Julesburg, Colorado, lived its whole life in Julesburg, Colorado, was never more than 10 miles away from the dealership it was bought at, and
Psych.
I took it out of there and brought it to Ohio. Bummer. So we're just pre-filling this. Not all the way up, because then you end up, when you put it on there, you end up spilling a bunch of it. But get a little bit on your finger, Caitlin. Run it around that gasket. Bring the camera over here.
Doesn't smell like anything. It smells like air, actually.
Okay, I believe you.
You have to take my word for it. Just like everything else I smell.
It's not actually Ford.
Ford orange.
I think that's more of a red than an orange. You think that's an orange?
It looks orange.
Some Ford fan out there, tell us what color that is.
No, it's like that one crayon that's you don't want to use it in the rainbow because it looks too orange
Yes.
to be red, but it's too red to be orange. And you just
As
can't
far
use
as
that
putting
one.
on this filter, you just want to give it enough of a ooga dooga that your hand hurts when you're done.
Ooga dooga.
All right, crawl back under there and put that drain plug back in.
Huh.
Yeah, you're dirty. Hey, turn around. Good opportunity to remind everybody, sweatshirts are still available at CrossthreadGarageandSalvage.com. Grab yours today, because it's cold out there, guys. And these will keep you warm. And that's all the sales pitch I have. It's cold, stay warm, buy a sweatshirt. Support Caitlin in her efforts to grow her bank account.
You heard it here, folks.
Oof, there's some mouse stuffing.
Don't take that off.
Man, that's a bummer. I hate mice. All right, guys, we got some Clorox pet urine remover. These mice are not pets, but maybe this will work. So
And Marty, did you find it? Oh, hi, kitty. I don't remember your name.
Anna.
Anna.
Gracie named her.
We're just gonna soak this all down. Did you make sure that drain plug was tight?
Yep.
Like tight, tight?
Yep.
Like Caitlin tight, or like insurance will pay for it if it's ruined tight?
Like how when I say my room is clean and Mom is like, is it Mom clean?
No, we
That
did that
tight.
bit. We did that bit last week.
Oh. Insurance tight. Where's this go?
Right down there.
Or,
Looking at this thing, you'd think
whatever
it's a,
called.
you know, it's a little inline 6-cylinder,
What's it called?
but it says it takes 7 quarts from what I can find. So
Funnel.
we're gonna drop 5 in it. We already pre-filled the filter. We're gonna drop 5 quarts in it, check it, and then run it, and then see where we're at before we top it off, okay?
Dad. This is only 5 quarts. So we put the whole thing in?
Yep.
The whole thing.
Yep.
Okie dokie, artichoke. I'm so much better at this when we first started.
By that you mean you're not spilling it everywhere?
Yep.
Put this zinc additive in next. Oh, hold on. Is it super thick stuff? Let's turn it upside down and let it sit in there. It's just super thick.
Oh.
Yeah.
And squeeze it.
If I'd known it was that thick, I would have poured half of this out, put it in here, and mixed it up with this oil. That's the easy way to get a
It
thick
looks like honey.
Yeah, it does look like honey, doesn't it? Well, Caitlin's letting that thing drain. Let me show you guys this thing. This is a aftermarket combination mirror spotlight. Look at that. Rear view mirror. Spotlight. And it works.
And it works.
Oh, Marty, you're still in here.
Dad!
Check that out.
Did you get Marty out?
No, Marty's still in there. All right, I'm gonna start it up, Caitlin. Let it get some oil running through it, circulating,
Circle.
and then we will check the oil, see how much more we need to add. Engaged.
Engaged.
We got fuel back to the front. Oh yeah. Look at that, just purring along like a Singer sewing machine. Might need to turn that idle up a little bit. It's kind of cold, but
Or be the dipstick. Oh. Where is be the dipstick?
where do you think the dipstick is?
Right here.
No. You know what? I don't know where the dipstick is either.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, never mind. It's a short little dipstick.
You're a short little dipstick. Just above the full mark, which means we don't need to put any more in. Might have overfilled it just a hair, but we're not going to worry about it. Look, you don't want to run like 2 extra quarts in your engine, but having a 1/4 quart too much, yeah, You're fine. Probably.
Probably.
All right, we got new air filter, new oil filter, new oil fluid. Oil fluid? It's just called oil, guys. It's just called oil. I don't know. That is right at the top. Smells like glycol.
You smell like something, Paul.
I'm going to say,
We call it a day.
nope. I'm going to say that it's not going to be driven in the winter, and it's not going to get below freezing here in the garage. So we're just going to top it off with some straight H2O. What are you doing?
I can see my breath now, Dad.
It's chilly.
It's getting cold in here.
All right. It's
Too cold to be out here.
yeah, it's cold enough and dark enough, and almost time for us to leave. So we're gonna call that.
We'll see you
done.
next time.
No,
Oh.
we're gonna call that done for the evening. We're gonna leave the car right here. When we come back, we're gonna throw some air in the tires and take it out for a drive. And I'm gonna show Caitlin how to drive a 3 on the tree. That should be fun. If we have a nice day and sometime in the next 6 months. Okay.
Oh.
It's January 24th today. This might be posted sometime between now and June 23rd. Well, it's the next day and I'm done with the rodents. So we went back to the rodent repellent cab. It was a fresh cab. It's you guys should have smell-o-vision. It smells like you just walked into your neighbor's house that sells essential oils, and she's just dropped all of them on the ground at the same time.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's a formidable scent. It stings the nostrils. Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline.
And then this is a natural repellent spray.
60% of the time, it works every time.
So I went ahead and sprayed down everything underneath the back seat with that, sprayed down the inside of the back seat with that, and sprayed down the trunk area right behind the back seat. All right, while Caitlin's getting on those tires and wheels, I'm gonna clean up this gunk that's still stuck to the bottom of this seat frame. Just using a wire wheel. Got my good mouse hunter back in the garage today, so hopefully we'll get rid of a few of these guys. Probably should have been wearing a mask for that. I'll get it wiped down and spritz it up with some new fresh black paint. Actually, I might vacuum it, get all that junk out of there. Caitlin, you almost done over there?
And that one can't reach.
Yeah, we'll have to maybe just push the car back until it reaches it. Caitlin, before we push this back, you could get in there and just let a little bit of air out of that one tire, since you haven't put any Ohio air in there, and get a good whiff of what Colorado smells like.
Not think that's what it will smell like.
How much air is in there?
Like 10.
10 pounds, yeah.
You can hear it going.
I don't know how old those tires are.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not original, obviously, but they are old. I've never looked at the bottom of this body, so I'd like to see what it looks like. So
I don't.
let's get it pushed back forward, throw a jack under the back end, and just look real quick, see if there's any rust or rot. I know it's going to be beat up. It's going to be beat up by rock chips and stuff, because the guy that we bought it from, his farm was like 6 miles down a dirt road. Oh, Marty, you almost got run over by a Ford Fairlane. Caitlin is going to jack the back end of this up so we can see what it looks like underneath there.
I can't jack it up.
Why?
I can't find the oil pan.
Just put it under the rear differential for now. We'll find the oil pan later.
All right, let's start with trunk floor and frame rail. Wow. Wow.
Good wow, bad wow. Wow, wow.
So the fuel tank has an undercoating on it still. The floor is in exceptional shape, and I'm pretty sure, grab me one of those wet paper towels, Caitlin. Yeah, see there's a bunch of dirt up here. This is all dirt, but I'm pretty sure that frame rail still has paint on it.
Still has what?
Black paint. Yeah, it does. So, got a little bit of dirt caked up in here, and like I said, I kind of expected this part to be
Look at the shocks.
worn out, but that's
They're blue,
not rusty.
blue.
The shocks are definitely replacements. Yeah,
I never said blue.
what the rest of this looks like up here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh man. Inside of these wheel wells are like perfect. Oh, hey. Found the exhaust leak. Yeah, that could be
Oh yeah, inside the wheel.
that could be fixed. I thought this thing always had a little bit of a noisy pop.
It did. It does.
But looking here at the bottom side of the fenders, the outer quarters, you can see where they painted. You can see the paint line. A little bit of, tiny little bit of surface rust. Honestly, this could go the rest of its life just the way it is without any attention being given to it. I mean, clean that out of there. Obviously, we'll do that. Get a screwdriver and get that out. But as long as this thing's not being driven on snowy roads with salt and all that stuff, which we're not going to do, it's in great shape. Look how good a condition those floors are in. So I guess this is a unibody construction, because those frame rails only come to right here. Back to what they call these, a torque box, I'm not sure. Man, unbelievable the difference it makes to have a nice, clean, rust-free Western States car. This came from a part of the country that got less than 10 inches of precipitation every year. So we lived in a part of the state that got less than 6 inches of precipitation the last few years we were there. Now we live in a place where we get 6 inches of rain a week, and we haven't seen the sun since December 3rd. All right, let's throw this seat back in.
Hey guys.
Actually, hand me that camera. I'm not sure I got a picture of this after I cleaned it up. So we got all that poop that was packed on here cleaned up and off, and then resprayed it black. So
Oh, this is nice.
refurbished. There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Perfect. They don't make car seats like they used to. Can I just?
Well, we got in to move the truck out of the way, and it won't roll. So I'm thinking we drained a bunch of transmission fluid out when we changed the seal on the speedometer gear drive. And I'm thinking that we didn't get it filled back up. So let's add some trans fluid. Actually, let's check some trans fluid first. Yeah, there's nothing on there. All right, you guys didn't get a cold start on the truck, so we'll give you a cold start on the 62 Fairlane. Haven't pumped the gas yet. Maybe I should pump the gas. Or I'm going to try choking it, just see what it does. That's Pretty good for I didn't turn that off. 60-year-old car. I do think I need to get that idle turned up. Just gonna partially choke here. Leave it just partially choked for a second while it's cold. Good?
Clear. Clear for takeoff. That was some steady camera work. I run the camera.
I'm gonna show you what the gears look like here. So this is neutral when it can come back and forth like this. Up and closest to you is reverse. Down and closest to you is first gear. And it's just an H. So it's reverse, first, second, third.
Well, that's easy.
So it's just like any other stick shift
Yep.
you've driven. It's just sideways. Set the brake, it's got a hand brake. Pull back on it here. You hop out.
I'll just scoot over.
You hop out, and I'll scoot over.
Why do? This isn't fair.
The answer to why is because I'm your dad. That's why. That's the only answer you'll ever need.
What?
Because I'm your dad and I said so.
Twist?
For the handbrake, you're gonna have to, twist and push in. Twist it again, push it all the way in. There you go. It's not in gear. So clutch,
Yes. No.
clutch first
Wait, with what foot?
with your left foot.
Okay. What's that? First.
That's first. You're gonna need to give it a little bit of gas as you come off the clutch.
I don't know how this
A little
works.
bit, a little bit more.
Oh, never mind.
Turn the key. Gas. More gas.
I gave it more gas.
More gas. Now all the way off the clutch.
Hey guys. Okay, now.
Now clutch in, and then forward and up to second. More gas, more gas. There you go.
Where are we going?
Just gonna go down the road here.
Do I have to put the clutch in when I brake?
Yes.
Okay, I forgot.
Okay, now this one does not like to downshift into first unless it's sitting still. So you gotta come to a complete stop.
I'm in a complete stop.
Down to first.
Where are we going?
Just go that way.
That way.
Go straight that way.
Okay.
More gas.
I wasn't giving it any gas.
Let's try the wipers.
We cruising. Okay, we're ready for third.
Clutch in and pull it straight down. Gas again. It's pretty good. Only killed it twice.
Oh, that's okay.
It's just, I killed it the first time I tried to drive it because I just wasn't quite sure how stiff that clutch was.
There's a person.
Yeah. Look how clean that interior is though, guys. I mean, obviously, apart from the mouse stuff.
Where are we gonna turn around?
At the road that's up here.
I'm gonna.
All right, so when we come to the turn here, put your turn signal on.
Wait, where?
Down.
How? What?
Down.
Okay.
That's good. Clutch in.
Okay.
Just leave your clutch in.
Okay.
Brake. We're gonna turn.
Oh, these brakes are nice.
Yep. Turn here. There you go. Now you're gonna downshift to second gear. So pick this straight up.
Downshift to second.
Well, not now. You came to a complete stop. Put that clutch in.
It isn't.
Stay down. Go. Hi. You okay?
Yep.
Here.
Go ahead and drive away.
Drive away.
Come here.
You were in first.
Sorry.
Give it gas.
That's on me. That's on me, coach.
When that lady's telling you that her dog's going to jump on the car, you just need to drive away
Sorry.
and not let that happen. Gas, more gas. You're in first.
Oh.
More gas. Not that much. Okay, you're nervous now, so just take a deep breath. Foot on the gas. More gas. More gas. There you go.
Where are we going?
We're gonna go down to the end of the road here and turn around. That's reverse. You have to go forward in a second.
I think I drove better when I was 9.
Well, listen, this is just a good reminder for you that as
Your
you
trucks
learn,
aren't all lit.
no, as you learn to drive, it's a good reminder to you that you don't know everything yet. There are still things that you're learning. I know. This is a good reminder. That's all I'm saying. This is a good way for you to recognize, man, when I'm driving, there's a lot going on that I got to be paying attention to. What the car's doing, what other cars around me are doing, what people with dogs are doing. So this was productive. It was. We'll see you guys next week on Crossthread Garage and Salvage. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing.